Hello, everybody. This is Connor Tracy, Big Red SEO. Facebook, Friday. What are we, the 8th, 9th? We are the 8th. It's just me. Kim's not here. So, hello, world, and all that kind of fun stuff. We got a handful of things that I want to cover today, mainly the online marketing video. So I returned from Google from an event over there, and video was one of the things that we talked about. So we're going to do a run through and see what's going on here. Hello, Loveline. Thanks for joining me. Like every other time with Kim out of town, I get to do whatever I feel like. So today is port. It's a 2010 St. Francis port, which probably should have been drank last year. So, but it is what it is. So anyway, where are we? Make sure my mic is working. It is. The video appears to be working. Facebook is up here. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Video marketing. Let me go back. So I got invited out to the Google Complex on Monday. So just this past week here. And with that, there was a meeting of engineers, essentially. They were all search engine engineers, project managers, people that are heading up the different parts within the search engine themselves, people that are controlling the search engine console, what it is we want to see out of it, and all that kind of fun stuff. I was really honored, really privileged to have an invite to go. There were only about 160 people that went to this event, or that were invited to go to the event. It was a process. We had to apply, we had to be selected, then we had to basically show up at that point. But everybody in the room, we were I was one of the smallest companies in there, I believe. But everybody in there were companies that you deal with on a daily basis, companies that are doing between $1 and $10 billion a day in marketing. And I'm in the same room getting the same information as them, which is kind of amazing at the end of the day. Been doing this a long time, so it was a heck of a reward. If I never get to go back, this was it, and it was awesome. I met a whole bunch of people and learned a whole bunch of things that I didn't know 100% before. A lot of SEO is a lot of theory, a lot of walking through things, a lot of reviewing patents and papers that Google does, and talking with other people in the industry, and then testing to make sure that the stuff that we do is actually having an effect. So to be able to go to the event and talk to engineers that are the ones that are writing it and ask them questions, people that have been dealing with it for the last 5 years, 7 years, it was very unique in that respect. There was about 10 different segments in there. And one of the segments had to do with video. So at the end of her talk, I went up to the gal. I'm not allowed to mention names. It was part of our disclosure agreement that were not specifically to mention individuals that were presenting. So I went up to one of the project managers, the lead girl who's working on everything to do with video. And I had a few select questions based on how we operate business, how you operate business, and just how the videos can get found. So one of the things that we were talking about was when someone does a search in Google and it returns the different results, you've got your text stuff, you've got images that are going to get returned, you have some video stuff that gets returned, you have some social media stuff gets returned. So when it comes down to the video, the one big thing that we talked about was just where Google is getting the information on videos. And it's not just pulling the information from YouTube. It's also pulling videos that might have been sent up to Vimeo, or in our case, Facebook Live. If the video is public, Google can find it. Google can use it and then return that as being part of the search results. That was huge. We've always selected or seen that it's YouTube videos that get entered into the search console or into the search results. And for the most part, it is YouTube videos at the moment. But Vimeo, Facebook, even your own videos that you might upload to your own website, those can all be indexed, spidered by Google, and then returned on results. at the end of the day, the big thing that we took away from the conference, everybody who was there, we all said it, was that, wow, Google really does care about the results. They're caring about the users that are doing the search. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's what it came down to. Google wants to provide the best information possible for the query that's being presented. And there's updates. Last week, we talked about BERT, and that has to do with neurolinguistic programming and how words match together. We had an in-depth conversation on that at the event, but video was another part. So Loveline said, so only Facebook Live, not recorded, is recorded and uploaded. No, you can do both the live videos and recorded videos. As long as your business page is public facing, they can use that video. So what I mean by public facing is that if you upload it to your personal Facebook profile and you're only letting your friends or invited people to see that profile, it's not a public profile, it's private, or friends of friends can see your posts, Google can't see those. But if it's a public post, then Google can see all that information. And with a business page, your business Facebook page, that should be a public page anyway, so that it can get picked up by the search engines, whether it's Google or Bing or some of the stuff that Yahoo might be doing or things that Twitter might be pulling in. So if all those areas are public, it'll use that data. So recorded videos are just fine. And when it comes to the video, the same thing with the search results. The biggest thing out of it all is content and relevancy. Okay. They want to see unique content. They want to return the most relevant results to the individuals. So if somebody is doing a search for the best wine of 2015, they want to return the best wine of 2015, and they will scour the web to find that information. It's going to come from blog posts. It'll come from news publications. It'll come from articles. It's going to come from videos. It'll come from Twitter. It'll come from Facebook. It'll come from Snapchat, if that's available. Instagram, any of that information, anything that's available, Google wants it so they can return the best results. Okay. So the two big things on it all, when it comes to the results in general, and this goes for YouTube results and things like that, is content and then diversity. They don't want to show the same thing over and over again. If somebody has already done a how to apply eyeshadow, a smoky eyeshadow, for example, there's thousands of videos on that. So they're not really wanting to show or index another one of those videos. They can, and they will index it, but you probably won't get many results out of it. So when it comes to the videos themselves and how those are being presented or how they're being indexed, there's code in the background. It's called structured markup. And that's the information that you put onto your website. And if you put that on your website, Google now understands your video a little bit better. We've got the closed captions. Google automatically does closed captioning, but it's only about 70% accurate. They have gotten better, but it's not 100%. Are they using closed caption for the search results? Not currently. What does not currently mean? That just means not today, but maybe next week, maybe a month from now, maybe a year from now. They used to allow you to search closed captions. That was a couple years ago. They turned that part off, so you can't search under closed caption at the moment, but it is what's called metadata. And that's the information that Google wants, and that's how they index the different things. So when we're talking about the video, and I've got a bunch of notes down here, so you'll see me looking down with that. The metadata, there's three main parts to metadata, okay? One is the title of a video. The other is a description of the video. And then the third part is the tags in a video. As you upload your videos, whether to YouTube or Vimeo or on Facebook, you can put in tags or hashtags. That allows Google to better classify things and put you into the different results pages. Okay, so your title and your description, those are the most important. Right now on YouTube, a description can be up to 5,000 characters. That's a lot of information. You could take your entire transcript and throw it into the description. It's not advised. Okay. Over the years, we have looked at putting the entire transcription into the description end of things. And essentially, from this event, what Google was saying is that they wanted less of partial sentences and they wanted full structure. They want context as to what's going on. So instead of taking your entire transcript and uploading that into your description or onto its own video page, like what we have been doing, now what they want to see is paragraph overviews of those sections within that video. Okay, so if right now we're 11 minutes into this video, I'm talking about the closed captioning and how all of that works. So inside of the description would put the timestamp of 11 minutes and then a description of what it is I'm talking at that time, what that paragraph of text is about. And that now gives Google a little bit more context to allow them to jump to different sections within the video and allow the users to jump to different sections in the video. So that was one of the big takeaways was the metadata, how they're using it. So the title, the description, and then the tags. You should have your keywords in there for whatever it is you're going after. That needs to be in there. Okay. The thumbnail, it is important. But the thumbnail is only used by the individual. So it's to allow them to discern which video it is they're going to click on. So you have to have a thumbnail that's easy to distinguish. A few months ago, we changed our thumbnails. We used to have a lot of words in our thumbnails, and we got rid of most of that. And now we just have a black bar with 4 or 5 words, basically saying what the topic is going to be for the day. So clear and concise, that's what they want to see. The closed caption at the moment is only used by the user. And then the file name. And this was different. You know, we've talked about file names when it comes to images and that Google may use that file name as part of things. They use it inside of your videos also. So when you download a video from Facebook and it's got a string of numbers on it, you want to rename that into whatever your topic is or whatever your keywords are that you're trying to go after, and then re-upload that to Vimeo and YouTube and any other video sharing site. And one of the things that they were talking about, because they're looking at diversity, it's perfectly fine to upload that same video to multiple locations. They are different audiences, so keep that in mind. Not everybody who watches these Facebook Lives would watch the same video over on YouTube. We put it over there, but we also put shorter videos there specifically for YouTube people because they digest things differently. Much like a Facebook post and a Twitter post. Yeah, they'll say the same information, but they're still going to be very different. Okay, so keep that part in mind. When we were talking about images and how those return on results. And one of the things that they mentioned was that the quality of the image plays a factor in whether Google wants to rank that image for a user or not. The same goes for your video. People, and I say the video, but I'm talking audio. So people usually can forgive a video that's a little grainy or a little dark or things like that, but your audio has to be crystal clear. Today, with Kim not here, I get to have the mic right here in front of me. Usually the mic is off to the side, you know, it's a good 2 feet away, and it picks up a little bit more echo than what I would like. I do all that editing inside of YouTube and I get rid of some of the echo, but here on a live video, you'll pick up some of the echo in the room. So video quality is important, but the audio quality is the most important factor. Okay. Take those videos. Like I said, you can splice them up. You know, if there's a 20-minute video, go ahead and splice up into a 5-minute video and upload that to YouTube. Maybe it's a section, maybe it's a talk. So like this video here, I might take the 5 minutes I'm talking about captions and upload that as a separate video. not only have I made it easier for the user to digest and get to the information as quick as possible, but I've also now allowed Google to return an accurate result when somebody is doing a search. If somebody is trying to search, how do I rank videos for SEO? Okay. It's very much in the middle of the video that I'm talking about that. Whereas if I had a shorter video, a 3 or 5 minute video, it's more concise. It's got an answer right at the end of it, and Google likes it a lot better. Okay. So other things within the video, the video itself, as long as it's clear, as long as it's clean, upload that, you'll be perfectly fine. When you put that video onto your website, they want not just the video, but they also want context behind it. So you should have a blog post of sorts and then a video inside of that blog post. I was talking to a Google engineer about the images and how those are impacted within the website. And one of the things that they used for ranking was what text is around the image when it's presented to the user. And they use that for context also. So not just your alt tag and your title tag, they also use the text that's around the image. So I chatted with the gentleman after the event. I was talking with him and trying to find out, is it within the lines of code that as long as the image is next to the code of where the other text is, or is it the final result? And it was interesting to find out that all of Google's rankings happen after the page has been fully rendered. So they see what a user sees, and at that point, they start to pick apart the different sections of the page. And that's news. That's different. We knew there was stuff like that, but now to have confirmation from the words of the engineer that's actually writing that part of the code, that's kind of awesome. So the finished result of the page, that is what determines where Google ranks different things. You know, are there question and answers? Have you done the markup for that? It's called schema markup. And there's talks that we were having and questions and answers that we were having about different parts of the schema markup getting added to so that it could be easier to understand. But as it stands, you've got frequently asked questions and then Q&A. They are two different markups. But putting those onto your page along with your video and the markup for the video, and if you have recipes, you do markup on those. But as long as you have all of that information on there, Google can better bucket your website. It is kind of how they explained it. Each little things get categorized and put into its own little bucket. And then the websites with the most information filled out, they're the ones that actually get indexed. Or they're the ones that actually get shown. Everybody gets indexed. Everything is indexed. But it's only the most amount of information. They're the websites that actually get things shown to the users for the end results. Again, what they want is context, they want content, and they want diversity. So if you're asking and answering the same questions all the time, there better be some other things, or you're not going to outrank somebody else who's had that position for the last year. So that was mainly everything when it came to video. Do the live videos for sure. You don't have to worry about fancy equipment. You can use an iPhone. You can use an Android. Go ahead and just use the video, take a recording, but make sure that video is crystal clear. If you can run a microphone to it, run a microphone to that, and then use that as being your audio source. Out in public, you know, we looked at some videos that were taken by people walking around, and you've got wind noise, you've got traffic, you've got things like that. It's harder for Google to discern what is actually happening in the video. And they do have AI that's currently learning what is happening inside of a video to better rank the video. It's not rolled out, it's not 100%, but it's stuff that they're working on. And when you're working on your videos now, you want to make sure that you're preparing for the future. Okay, so part of that is going to be closed captioning. There was a statistic, it was something like 15 or 18% of the people on the web are hard of sight. They have a hard time seeing things, or they are blind. And the way the browsers are operating, they read that information back to the users. It all has to be parsed out through a different set of code, but it's part of the Disabilities Act, and it has to be done. Not that it shouldn't be done, it should. So closed captioning is one of those parts of it, getting all of that to work. Google does have its own closed captioning. It's just not awesome. So do your own version. Or after you upload your video, there's a section where you can modify the closed captioning. You can do that on YouTube. You can do that on Vimeo. I've used it on both platforms. I personally like the YouTube platform, but that's just, I'm a Google guy. So what do you want? Let me grab a drink here and then figure out what's next. Hang on. Okay. You know what? I honestly think that's it. There was a couple of things with regards to how the videos are being ranked. And of course, I said video quality and audio quality is in there, but the user ratings and the comments. So getting comments on videos, they do affect the algorithm, and they do help move that up. So getting the likes on the videos, getting the comments. Specifically in YouTube, that's how that YouTube algorithm and the Google algorithm works. The likes and comments that happen inside of Facebook, that's a Facebook algorithm, and they do want that also. But it's not used in the context of ranking a page. The other things in there, how many times a video was shared, the upload time is also a factor. We talked about fresh content. How often should you be updating something on a website? If the information hasn't changed in 3 years, do you still need to upload a new version of it? And the answers that we were getting back, we didn't get 100% yes, but we were not told no. So with that, you should be refreshing your content on a semi-regular basis. What is the context of the semi-regular? Is it every week, every month, every year? We didn't have those answers. They made a joke and they said, well, 6. If you want a number, here's a number, 6. And well, what does that mean? What is the context of 6? Was that every 6 minutes, every 6 hours? And the response was, you asked for a number, here's a number. If you don't like that one, let's use 13. So we didn't get specific information on that. And that's okay. We weren't really expecting it. Everybody had a good laugh about it. But the upload time, when it comes to video, that's important. So the context or the freshness of data in your website for your blog or your pages, that's going to help those pages rank. And then the upload time for your YouTube video, how recent that video was, that's going to be a ranking factor over there. They want to show new information rather than only old. So if there is somebody, the dog is barking for no reason, I don't know why. Sorry. But if there's a video from 2015, if it is the best video, if it is the best answer, Google is going to continue to show that. But they want to show the new stuff too. They don't want just the old guys to always have all of the information. And so upload time matters, and then the view count. How many people are actually looking at your videos? That plays a factor. It's not the end all be all. We've got videos on here that have only had a handful of views. But we do notice that the videos that have had more views tend to show up at the end of other videos a lot better. So the other last item that I'll cover with regards to videos, record a couple that are 5 and 15 seconds and use these in advertising. So use these with your Facebook ads or your YouTube ads. You can run them as a bumper in front of other people's videos. It's a way of getting information out there. It's generally not a way of converting a sale, but it's a way of brand recognition or just information that you exist. So when you're doing your videos, record a 5-second blurb, a 15-second, and a 30-second. If you think of how when you're watching Hulu or when you're watching YouTube for that matter, you'll get a blurb in the very beginning. Those first 3 to 5 seconds are very important because people can then skip at that point. You can pay extra so that people cannot skip, but for the most part, doing a 5 or 15-second video usually covers the brand exposure that you need. So that's mainly it with video. There's nothing fancy about it. You can go out and buy the fancy equipment. We've got cameras here and we've got cameras there, and we've got a ring light up here to help make things a little bit brighter. They're not required. At the end of the day, it's content, the context of that content, make sure you're answering, the quality, so it's the audio, the video becomes secondary, the audio is the most important, and then your titles, your description, and then your tags for the video when you upload them onto whatever site. And Google will use your video. If it answers all the things for the user, Google will use your video. So that's it. I'm running up, 25, 30 minutes here right now. So if there are any questions, I'll jump on them right now. Otherwise, we will end this out. Kim, as I said, she's off in California doing an event out there. So I flew home. My flight got delayed. I ended up spending the night in Houston. I get in the next morning. What was that, Thursday? Wednesday, I got back. And then Thursday morning, Kim was on a flight back to California. And then she comes back on Sunday, I think. And then we're gone again. So like ships passing in the night at the moment. But it is what it is. So hopefully you guys have enough information on that. If you do need more information, my stuff is down here. So we got the Facebook page. Facebook/Big Red SEO, Twitter /Big Red SEO, and then YouTube.com/Big Red SEO. We'll try to have the information over there within the next couple of days. I'm still going through all of what happened this week. There was so much information in an 8-hour period. It's the first time they've done, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and it was jam-packed. And it was engineers talking. It was really fast, very micro level. But it was awesome. So I'm still parsing through. I've got a page full of notes that I've got to get through and get all those done. And then we'll start doing blog posts and get some videos out there. So, Loveline, thank you for joining. I see, thanks. Things were helpful. Good. If you have any questions, drop me a note, put some comments down here in the video, and I will be happy to do my best to answer them or get answers to you if I can. So there you go. That is it. Facebook Friday, November 8th, 2019. I'm Connor. Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.